Thanks, Linda.
Okay, and Doris, we're hoping that you can continue to hang in there with us through the meeting today, but if you need to go early, we understand that. Just please let Jamie get a couple of pictures of you with that beautiful plaque that you so deserve. And we will go ahead and move on with our meeting. And perhaps at the end of the meeting, we'll have time for more people to speak with Doris. Okay, so thank you, Doris.
You're welcome. All right.
Okay, so I want to start out by thanking all of our board members and our co-chairs for all the work they've done this year and for hanging in there. Even though we had all those extra obstacles this year and didn't get to meet in person, you guys did a fantastic job of running your committees and attending board meetings and just carrying on with all of our duties that we needed to do throughout the year to make this year a success. So I have a little something that I want to say. I want to say thank you for your time and your commitment to making our club a success. It's always the right time to volunteer. I hope all of you will be taking time out of the weekend to attend the installation for next year's officers. And that's all the time I have to talk about that right now. But for those of you who will be at installation, you will understand why I've taken time to talk about this. And then I would like to go into some thank yous that I have listed here on another sheet. I'd like to start by thanking our board members individually. So President-elect Sarah Beecham, thank you so much for doing our quote of the day at our meetings and for all your work helping us with the 100-year legacy project. She's been working tirelessly with Bonnie and I on our ad hoc committee. Thank you for all the time and effort you put in to making our Dream It Be It program a success this year and attending our board meetings and for being the liaison for communications and fundraising. Vice President Kathy, I want to thank you for attending our board meetings and helping with the events committee and SI objectives. And Kathy did a great job jumping right in there this year and getting her feet wet. And hopefully she's going to have updates for us at next week's meeting about the awards that she's submitting on behalf of our club. And I'm super excited to hear those updates next week from Kathy. Thank you, Kathy. Treasurer, Gail Allward. So I really appreciate Gail taking the time to learn all the treasurer duties. She's been driving to everyone's house to get checks signed. Usually we get to sign and pass checks and vouchers during our meetings, but with everything being virtual this year, we've had to make a lot of extra work that's not usually there and required of our board members and our co-chairs. So Gail actually took the time to drive around to my house every month, sometimes a couple times a month, and she drove to Sarah's and probably Sean's numerous times a month, trying to get checks signed and get everybody's check vouchers submitted. So we really appreciate Gail doing that. We also want to thank Gail for creating the proposed budget for the 2021-2022 club year. That's been a bit of a challenge with changing in fundraising and home and garden. We've just finished our contract with them, so we're not going to continue to be getting those funds from that sale anymore. So anyway, it took Gail and the admin committee some time to work out all those numbers to make sure our club's going to continue to be successful and that we have the funds to do that. And then I want to thank Gail for hanging in there and not giving up, which she probably wanted to pull her hair out after everything this year, and for attending our board meetings. I want to thank Treasurer-elect Sean Murphy for attending the board meetings. She was been spending this year learning and carrying out all the treasurer-elect duties. And she's done a phenomenal job with it. She did all the extra tracking for Give Butter, and she has overall made Gail's life easier. Gail has been singing her praises all year long and talking about how gracious Sean has been taking on this treasurer-elect role and what a phenomenal job she's done. And above all that, Sean has been a new member. She joined right before COVID hit, and she jumped right in as this treasurer-elect. And we are just so appreciative that Sean was able to take on that role, and what a phenomenal job she has done. So thank you, Sean. I think you deserve to have your wings clipped. You have definitely shown that you You are very successful members for Optimists, and thank you so much for all your work this year. And then I'm going to move on to our recording secretary, Nancy Hansen. Nancy, as always, is just like our little shining star. She's out there, she's making sure we're all in line, we're doing what we're supposed to do, and she's keeping us on track. So Nancy, thank you so much for attending the board meetings and reminding other board members to attend. That was a huge thing. And keeping all the board members on track, AKA herding wild cats. And Nancy's really good. She's got that whip and she keeps us in line. So thank you, Nancy. You've done a phenomenal job. And she's been great about getting the minutes done and getting them out to us quick so that everybody could get them and review them while they're still fresh in our mind. And I just really appreciate all your work, Nancy. Corresponding Secretary, Maureen Duquette. Thank you so much for taking on that role and checking the mail and keeping us up to date on everything that's going on, things that we're receiving in the mail, and attending our board meetings. And Maureen also had a little bit of a extra work this year due to the fact that normally she would check the mail and she'd be able to give it to us at the next meeting. But with COVID, that wasn't an option. So she had to put in a little extra effort too to make sure that everything got to the right people in a timely fashion. So thank you, Maureen. I'd also like to thank our director delegates. Start by thanking Sandy. Sandy was attending all of our board meetings. She's attended our conferences. She's been keeping our club updated on the Legacy Fund. Sandy is so knowledgeable on the Legacy Fund and how it all works and what's going on with it. And whenever anybody has a question, we're able to reach out to Sandy, and man, she's got an answer like that for us. So we really appreciate all your work and your knowledge, Sandy. And thank you so much for hanging in there during our last conference when the wind blew and the tree crashed on your car and your house. You were a trooper to still make your report at the next meeting and get everything done. So thank you for all your work and dedication, Sandy. And I also, you know, it was so much fun ringing the bell for the Salvation Army with you, Sandy. So thank you for doing that as well. Delegate Director Chelsea. I also want to thank her for serving as one of our director delegates. Chelsea hasn't been in club all that long either. And then here we are dark in meeting at home and not being able to see each other in person. And Chelsea is there helping with the Above and Beyond Awards. She's getting them mailed out and working with Sandy. Chelsea didn't have very good internet at her house up in Forest Ranch. So she was literally having to try to drive to her office in Chico or get somewhere where she could get better internet service to attend meetings and conferences. So I know she really had to put in some extra effort as well. And I feel bad she didn't get to attend any live events this year. So hopefully she'll be able to attend conferences next year in person. So thank you for your work, Chelsea. And I want to thank Renee Thatford for helping with the Dream It Be It program. Renee has been great with the Dream It Be It program over the years. She's really, you know, taken that on as near and dear to her. And we're always happy that she's willing to help with that program. So thank you, Renee. And our other alternate delegate was Erin. And I know Erin has had a lot of stuff happen in her life this year. She's taking care of her grandbaby and doing all kinds of stuff. And so thank you, Erin, for making some of those board meetings and being there if we needed a backup. So I'm going to move into our committees now, and I'm going to start by thanking Joan Stoner from our admin committee. Joan makes sure all of our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed, as well as making sure that nobody has their fingers in the cookie jar that's not supposed to. So she makes sure that our budgets are right and all that back end financing is done correctly, and our official forms and stuff. She has been great at guiding and mentoring Treasurer Gail, and Gail has been very, very appreciative of all the work and support that Joan has given her throughout this year. So thank you, Joan, and thank you, Becky, for being our admin co-chair with Joan in running the meetings and making sure that we got all of our admin stuff done on a timely fashion. And I want to thank Lupe for the fundraising committee. Lupe and Darren, who are our co-chairs. So thank you, Lupe and Darren. I really appreciate you ladies taking the time to help us come up with new fundraising ideas and styles. This definitely was not our typical way of fundraising this year, but we were able to come up with ways to do it and think outside the box. So I know it was a little extra work probably trying to come up with these new fundraising ideas, but it was successful. And now we know how to fundraise with no contact. So thank you. Joyce Brown, our communications chair. Thank you so much, Joyce, for all the work that you've done throughout the year. You do not only our communications committee, but our e-blast and our snail mail, the website. You are just there 24/7. You're also a wealth of knowledge. When we have questions or members have questions, we're able to reach out to Joyce. And if Joyce doesn't have the answer, she knows where to find it because she spends a lot of time doing the online stuff. So she has just been kind of my right-hand gal this whole year, helping not only me, but the rest of our members as well to get through this year and to make sure that we know where to find the stuff online and access it. And great job with all the e-blasts and the snail mail and the website. You've just done great, and you continue to do a phenomenal job, Joyce. So thank you so much for everything and all your help and your support. I also want to thank Nancy. I thanked her for her time as a board member, but I wanted to thank Nancy Hansen for being a giving committee tri-chair while simultaneously serving on the board. So she was multitasking and wearing many different hats. And thank you again, Nancy. Thank you, Kim Huber, our giving committee tri-chair. She has done an absolutely great job with the budget and putting everything into working formats that will make it so much easier for our future chairs to take over giving committee. She did a great job with the PowerPoints and putting everything kind of in a cookie cutter setup so that next year and the following years, they can come into those PowerPoints and just change a couple little things and it's already all done for them. So that is going to be such a huge weight off of the shoulders for any incoming giving committee chairs. So thank you, Kim, for all your work. We appreciate it. And Carol Burr is also a giving committee tri-chair. Thank you, Carol Burr, for all your hard work this year. And we really appreciate not only what you've done with the giving committee, but you did an awesome job collaborating with SNR and Alexa for the conference. You did a fabulous job introducing Alexa. That was definitely a top introduction if I have ever seen one. So I want to say, look out CNN. Carol is coming in and she is on fire. So thank you, Carol, for all your work and dedication. Jamie, SI Objectives Co-Chair. Jamie, thank you so much for your dedication and all the work you've done with SI Objectives. You've been our Sunshine Lady, and we have probably sent out more cards through our Sunshine Lady this year than we have ever in history, because we've had a lot of stuff happening with members, and we've also not been seeing each other in person. So Jamie has had her hands full being Sunshine Lady on top of being a chair. So thank you. And thank you, Maureen, for sending some extra stamps to Jamie, because we know she's been going through a lot of cards and a lot of stamps to be our Sunshine Lady, and she has just done a phenomenal job. So thank you for that. And Jamie, thank you for the senior moments. You have done such a great job reaching out to our senior members and just making sure that they're okay and keeping them in the loop and giving us an update about their life and history over the years of being a Seroptimist. And for the newer members, especially who may not be familiar with some of our older members, that is great. I love it. It's a great reminder for everybody of all the contributions that our senior members have done. So thank you so much for the senior moments. And above all, Jamie has done this as a new member. She stepped up into this role. She had just recently joined Seroptimist before everything had to go virtual as well. So Jamie has definitely proven that she is ready to be a full-fledged Seroptimist member. She needs her wings clipped. She is no longer a newbie either. Thank you, Jamie, for everything you've done. Really appreciate all your work and dedication. Linda Allen, also an SI Objectives co-chair. Linda, thank you so much for running around and doing so much that she had to have 2 knee replacements this year. That's how hard Linda's been working for our club this year. And I want to thank all of our members also for taking meals and delivering them to Linda while she was recovering from those 2 knee surgeries. And I'm super excited that Linda is going to be taking on our Live It, Be It. Am I right? Is that the one that she's taken on, I think? I didn't have it in my notes.
Live your dream.
Live your dream. Thank you. I'm mixing it up with Dream It, Be It, Live Your Dream. Thank you. So yes, live your dream. Thank you, Linda, for being willing to step up and take on that program. And I know that Rosie is going to be excited that you're stepping in to fill her shoes, because she has done it for the last several years, and Rosie did a phenomenal job. So thank you, Linda. And Roseanne has just been amazing with scheduling all of our programs. And with everything being virtual, our programs were so important, and trying to make sure that we had all of our guest speakers attending and being there when they were supposed to be online. It was a little more of a challenge. So thank you, Roseanne. You've done a phenomenal job helping us schedule all of our guest speakers and rescheduling, and sometimes rescheduling them again. And not once did she ever complain. And we really appreciate that, Roseanne. And I also want to acknowledge that Roseanne has also been a member for 20 years. She was recognized at the end of the year picnic with her 20-year membership pin. So thank you, Roseanne, for your 20 years of service. I know you're always one of those members that jumps in and signs up to help with whatever we're doing, whatever project, whatever event we're doing. You know, Roseanne is going to be there. And if she says she's going to do something, she follows through. So thank you, Roseanne. We really appreciate all your years of service and dedication. I'd also like to thank Rosie Batestio, who has done the Live Your Dream Awards for us over the last several years. And Rosie has done a phenomenal job with that, finding great quality candidates, screening the applications, and just putting together a great program for Live Your Dream. I also want to thank Rosie for all of her hard work and dedication she did on the ad hoc committee for the Bear Fire. If you guys remember, this time last year, we had the Bear Fire breaking out, and what a fiasco that was after everybody's still recovering from the 2018 Camp Fire. Rosie was an evacuee, the 2018 Camp Fire, and during the Bear Fire last year. So she took it on like a trooper, and she was more than willing to step up with Margaret, and the 2 of them really did a phenomenal job handing out those funds and dispersing them. And that brings me into Margaret Van Land Martin. So Margaret, thank you so much for being on the Bear Fire ad hoc committee with Rosie. You 2 ladies, you worked so hard. You guys did a lot of events that you attended, the drive-through events, because of COVID, they couldn't do the type of stuff that we did during the 2018 Camp Fire. Everything was more drive-through, a lot of standing there and handing out those gift cards. And they did a great job. They met with other organizations as well to help screen people who needed additional services, and made sure that they were there, and that the funds that the other Sir clubs had given us to be good stewards of, they made sure that those funds got in the right hands. So thank you, Rosie and Margaret, so much. And Ann Leon, thank you so much for working tirelessly on the fall bistro bag that we did for our fundraiser this year. It was a huge success. Thank you, Ann. Your name and your reputation is just a phenomenal draw. Everybody in Butte County knows who Ann Leon is and wants whatever she's making. So that was awesome that Ann was able to help us with that. And she did a ton of hours putting that together, choosing the correct recipe, pairing wines with the foods, filming her cooking class, and prepping and preparing all the food for those bags. So I know it was a huge amount of work for her, but it was so worth it in the long run. We had such positive feedback from everybody who purchased bistro bags. The community was just thrilled that they were able to have a cooking class with Chef Leon, and the food was great. And the feedback was it brought people together in a time that they really needed to be together after being apart for so long due to COVID quarantine. So thank you, Anne. And Doris, we want to thank you for your 60 years of service and for lighting the way for all of us to follow in your footsteps. You have just been such an inspiration to all of us. And I am just so grateful that you were here today to join us and that we're able to thank you. Barbara Evans, thank you for your 50 years of service to SIC. And we really, really appreciate your $10,000 donation to SIC to help bring awareness to mental health. You have done a phenomenal job being a member of SIC and helping, and your $10,000 is going to really, really help this community with bringing awareness to mental health. And I'm super excited to see what you and the Giving Committee end up doing with that money next year. It is just one of those things that I know everyone is very, very grateful for. It's a topic that is very sensitive and doesn't get talked about a lot. So thank you for choosing to give Soroptimist those funds as a way to celebrate your 50 years as a member. And I just want to say once again, thank you so much for your 50 years of service. So I see we had a couple people in the waiting room. I heard the little doorbell dinging on the waiting room.
I let him in, Billie. Go ahead.
All right. Okay, so that brings this back to me now. So I just want to talk about my theme, my motto, my mantra that kept me going this year, and the quotes and my logo and stuff, and how that's really helped me get through this year. So my focus this year was women and children with intellectual and developmental disabilities. That's something that's been near and dear to my heart. Most of you know that, in the past, many jobs that I have done, and one of them was working with the Work Training Center, working with individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And I really enjoyed working with those clients and helping raise funds for them to provide the needed services. So we donated $11,000 this year from SIC that fell under the focus of helping women and children with intellectual disabilities. We gave $6,000 to Catalyst, and that was to help with the remodeling of the playroom at Catalyst at Safe Haven. The playroom was remodeled to help calm, heal children who have experienced trauma and or have intellectual and developmental disabilities, while helping to promote developmental progress, both mentally and emotionally. And that $6,000 that we gave them paid for the remodel in full. And I just received an update from Catalyst last week. They almost have the playroom completed. They did send some pictures, which I can send to Joyce if she wants to put a link in the e-blast. They have everything done except for two things. They needed to, I think I put it in my notes here. They needed to hang up the sensory boards, and I'm not finding it in my notes, but they were wanting to hang up the sensory boards. They have the sensory boards, but they do not have them up yet. And there was one other little thing that they needed to do. And they are actually going to be filming and doing a little presentation, since we can't be there in person because of COVID regulations. So they're going to film the playroom and talk about everything that they did in the remodel and how it's going to benefit the children. So once we get that link to the video, I will send that to you guys. They're hoping, like I said, to have the last little bit of the stuff done by this Friday. And then after that, hopefully within the next few weeks, they'll get that video done. And I'll have Joyce put that in the e-blast so that everybody can watch that video. So thank you everybody for supporting that project. We also gave $5,000 to ARC. And those funds were used to remodel and upgrade their playground to make it accessible for children of all abilities. So even children in wheelchairs and walkers will be able to access the playground now and have playground equipment that is specially designed for them. ARC needed to raise $20,000, and they were about $5,000 shy from reaching their goal, and SIC was able to step in there and provide that missing $5,000. And that way they were able to start on the remodel project. And they will also send us pictures when the project's completed. So thank you everyone for supporting those programs and those projects. They were great. And then of course, my motto was growing gratitude. I tried to focus on growing gratitude for myself and for the club members. And this was accomplished by sharing gratitude quotes in the e-blast through my president's messages each week, as well as sharing my gratitude for all of our members throughout the year. And most of you know, I went through the campfire in 2018, and that was a difficult transition. And then we kind of went into COVID, which was also another difficult transition. So really focusing on growing gratitude helped keep me moving in the right direction. And when I'd start feeling a little too overwhelmed or stressed or depressed, I could go back and just really tell myself, okay, gratitude. Be thankful for all the things that you have, because here we are. And we all, regardless of where we are in our point in life, we all have things to be thankful for. And I would just start listing off those things to myself every morning before I get out of bed. I'd start listing my list of all the things I was grateful for. And sometimes throughout the day, I'd have to remind myself and go through the list again. But here we are at the end of the year. And I'm thankful that we've made it to the end of the year and that you guys have all hung in there. And I hope that this gratitude has helped all of you get through this year as well. And my mantra was an attitude of gratitude. And I repeated that mantra a lot. So on a daily basis, I would just keep saying, okay, keep that attitude of gratitude. For my quote, I chose, today, I choose to live with gratitude for the love that fills my heart, the peace that rests within my spirit, and the voice of hope that says all things are possible. That quote was anonymous. I just thought that that pretty much summed up my feelings of gratitude and this whole club year and how we were going to get through it. So I hope that that helped a few of you in your times of need throughout the last year. And my logo had the attitude of gratitude with a sweet pea flower. Sweet peas are known as the flowers of gratitude. And now I want to move into the end of the year celebration at Merlot Park. So thank you to everyone. I am ever so grateful that you guys were able to come out and attend. And even though we did not get to have in-person meetings, we got to have our one big in-person hurrah at the end of the year just to celebrate that, yay, we made it. And it was so wonderful to see everybody in person and be able to give people hugs and have fun and share a meal together. So thank you to everybody for coming out and participating. It was a lot of fun. It was probably the first year that SIC wasn't able to have an installation and we weren't able to have a retreat. And just having that one event was really, really special. So I appreciate everybody coming out and participating. So if you were at the end of the year celebration, you got a little goodie bag. And in those goodie bags were some items that were actually made to be given at installation and at retreat. And since those events were canceled several times and we didn't get to have them, I didn't want those items to go to waste. And I thought that you all would appreciate them and just like to have them as a little reminder for those. So we had, if you were in the first 20 people to register, you were able to get a little flower packet of the sweet pea flowers with a little gratitude quote on there. And it had a little train charm on there. So that little train charm was supposed to be for our retreat that was scheduled at the train museum and resort that we were going to go to for a retreat. And since that didn't happen, I already had the charms. So that's just a little reminder to keep on track and no matter what, you know, just stay your course. And then we also had our installation and picnic little baskets. I had ordered, we were going to do the picnic up at Merlot Park as part of our installation. And we had those picnic charms and we had the little cards already made up, thanking you for attending the picnic and the installation. So those were also put in the bag for the first 40 people that registered and attended. And those picnic baskets, we finally got to have our picnic, even if it was at the end of the year, we still got our picnic. So hopefully you'll be able to take the train charm and the picnic basket and put them on your bracelets with all of your other charms for your above and beyond awards. And if you don't have one of those bracelets, please reach out to me and let me know, because we want to make sure everybody really has the opportunity to show off all their above and beyond awards and charms that they've earned. And we also included the installation program. Even though we didn't have the installation in person, we still had a virtual installation. It wasn't quite the same, but at least we were able to install the officers this last year. And we already had the programs made up when it was postponed. And so I wanted you guys to have those. So those were in your goodie bags as well, along with the Girl Scout cookies, which Kathy was able to get donated from the Girl Scouts, which was really kind of touching, since we chose the Girl Scouts as our 100-year celebration anniversary project that we're doing this year to celebrate 100 years of Soroptimist. So it was kind of fun to have those Girl Scout cookies in there. So let's see. I found my notes as I'm scrolling here on Catalyst now that I don't need them. Scrolling through here. Okay, so talking about the 100-year celebration of Soroptimist, we had a lot going on with that this year, and our ad hoc committee has continually been meeting and working on ways to promote Soroptimist and SIC and what we do. And we also applied with the Power of 100 Women to try to get funding from them to help fund the Girl Scouts project, which we did choose Girl Scouts of Northern California, and we will be funding their covered pavilion and their outdoor bathrooms. We did not get chosen by the Power of 100 Women this time around, but they put our name back in the hat, and it's possible we might get drawn again and be able to reapply for some funds for a future project. But President-elect Sarah and I did put together a video, and that video was put on YouTube, and that was talking about Soroptimist and what we do. And even though we didn't get the funds, it was still a great way to get our name out there and what Soroptimist does. So thank you, Sarah, for doing the video together with me. And thank you, Bonnie, for working with us. Sarah, Bonnie, and I worked together to get that script together. Bonnie was very instrumental in helping us with our scripts. So thank you, ladies. And let's see here. What else do I have? Oh, this Why Am I a Soroptimist video. So the communications committee had requested all members to film just a short little video themselves about why they're a Soroptimist. And we had a few members participate in that. And I'm hoping we're going to have more members. So even though we're going dark for the summer, it's not too late, ladies. You can still film your little short video, and we can still have Joyce putting that out there in social media. And you can either film it on your phone or you can do it on Zoom. And then Joyce can help you with any editing that you need and get it posted out there. And just as an example of how quickly the social media travels, Kim and I were the first two people to get our videos done and submitted. And those were actually put on social media, and then they were picked up by other clubs as well, and they bounced all over. So it wasn't just here locally in Butte County, and it wasn't just in our Sierra Nevada region, but they went overseas as well. So for those of you who probably received the last Soroptimist headquarters e-newsletter, in there was a section talking about Soroptimist and the 100 years and about social media and promoting it. And they actually put a link in there for my video and Kim Huber's video. And then there was one other video that was in there, and that was a lady from the Philippines. So if you haven't had a chance to read your e-newsletter from Soroptimist headquarters, it was sent on May 6th of this year. Take an opportunity to go back. There was a lot of great information in that newsletter. And like I said, and Kim, you know, she did a phenomenal job with her video. I did not think that mine was going to be shared so much. And I knew that our members needed a little incentive to get it done. So I just did one real quick. I kind of wish I had taken a little more time and effort when I put the video together, but we got the word out there and it is spreading. So please, ladies, if you haven't done your video, send your video in to Joyce and let her help push it out there in social media. We also, part of our celebration of 100 years this year, we started working on getting our name out more. We replaced the 3 signs coming into Chico and the Welcome to Chico signs. And that was paid for in half with SI Bidwell Rancho and SI Chico. And then of course, communications split the SI Chico portion with our 100-year celebration funds. And we were able to replace the incoming signs coming on the north side, the south side, and coming from Hamilton City. So thank you, Bonnie and Sarah, for helping me as well to get those signs up. I put one with my husband on the south side of Chico. Bonnie and her hubby Ken did the North Chico, and I think Ken and Bonnie and Sarah went and did the one coming in from Hamilton City. So thank you, ladies, for getting those signs out there and helping to get the word out on Seroptimus. And just as a reminder, Seroptimus has their 100-year anniversary celebration. It's a celebration in a box since everything's virtual. And that's going to be on September 25th through the 26th. So put that on your calendars. It should be a lot of fun. And then we have the 100th birthday party, which is going to be October 1st through the 3rd, 2021. You must pre-register for that. And the early bird registration cutoff has already happened. So the fees for registration have gone up a little bit. If you wait even longer, I believe they go up a 3rd time. So if you're going to attend that virtually and participate, you want to go ahead and get registered if you haven't registered already. But please put October 1st to the 3rd on your calendar for that 100-year celebration. And then major donations. We've had some major donations come into the club this year. We had Carol Davis, who is a dear friend of Patricia Cockross, and Patricia got to know Carol during the campfire in 2018. And Patricia told her all the wonderful things that SI Chico was doing. And Patricia is so wonderful about attending all of our meetings. And even though we've had to go virtual this year, Patricia's still there all the time. She's using that technology and she's attending the meetings and helping to spread the word about Seroptimus. And when she goes to see her husband, she says a little hi to Bev, and I will let her tell you a little bit more about that at the end of the meeting when we have some time to talk. But she's making sure that everybody knows about Seroptimus, and she's keeping us in her thoughts all the time. And we just really appreciate that, Patty. Thank you so much. So anyway, Carol Davis listed SI Chico as a beneficiary of her home and estate, and that's going to be future funds coming in to our club to go into the legacy fund to earn interest and continue to support what we do in Seroptimus. So we won't get those funds until Carol leaves this life, and we are wishing her a very happy, long life. So don't count on those funds anytime soon, but when that time comes, those funds will be left to SI Chico, and that will definitely help in the legacy fund. Our other big donation was from Barbara Evans. She donated the $10,000 to help bring awareness to mental health. So thank you, Barbara. My little mouse just stopped working. Okay, we also did the Beverly A. Rosendahl Opportunity Award, which was an annual scholarship this year. We had an ad hoc committee that met and put together the criteria and everything for these awards, and it was passed at the board, it was passed at membership, and that is actually being added into our Chico handbook and will be an annual award. That annual scholarship, the Beverly A. Rosendahl Opportunity Award, is in memory of Beverly Rosendahl in the amount of $1,000. This is an annual scholarship, and the money will come from SI Chico Legacy Fund. The scholarship will be awarded to a graduating female high school student from Butte County with a GPA of 2.5 or higher and used for paying tuition for higher education in either a vocational, business, or accounting program. It does not have to be through a university. And that's going to be dispersed through the giving committee. So I was really, really happy that we were able to do that for Bev. And let's see, this year I also got to participate in the Dream It, Be It program for the first time. And it was spur of the moment. I got the invite the night before. Sarah was needing some volunteers. And so I told her if nobody else stepped up, just let me know. So my daughter and I were actually guests virtually for their session 7. And we basically just shared our career path and how we got to where we are. And so that was kind of fun to be able to see all the students and to see them participating in the Dream It, Be It program. And then SIC for our donations this year, this is really, really exciting. We got to donate $37,930.63 between the awards, the scholarships, community grants, Live Your Dream, Dream It, Be It. Once again, that was $37,930.63. Plus, we had an additional $24,862.17 in donations for fire survivors. So we had $7,082.36 in donations that were dispersed to Bear Fire survivors. And then we had $17,779.81 left over from the campfire funds that was dispersed this year. So altogether, that gave us $62,792.80. So I think that is a huge kudos to everybody in our club. So we had obstacles this year, but we had members that stepped up and continued to help run our club. And we had to do it virtually pretty much all year, working behind the scenes, but we gave away $62,000, almost $63,000. So I think that is just a huge accomplishment. We were there doing stuff for the community, and we were still able to provide those funds. And I think, once again, big round of applause for all of our members, our boards, our co-chairs, club members, everybody for stepping up and helping. That's a tremendous success for such a difficult year. So I want to end my part with my quote one more time. Today, I choose to live with gratitude for the love that fills my heart, the peace that rests within my spirit, and the voice of hope that says all things are possible. And we have 3 minutes till 1 o'clock. So I'm going to open it up for 5 minutes just to let anybody that wants to share something positive from club this year. If they have something that they did themselves or witnessed somebody else do, or just was meaningful to them. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up for the next few minutes for anybody that has something they'd like to share. Amy Lewis?
Yeah. Billie, I just wanted to thank you for your really difficult year. I can't imagine having the excitement of coming into presidency and then having to deal with the crap you've had to deal with this year. I'm sure it's not what you signed up for, and it is not unrecognized how hard it must have been for you. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Amy. That means very, very much to me. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, it's been a tough year, and I appreciate that. Anne, I see Anne has her hand up.
I gotta back that up, as a friend of yours as well. I mean, I've just seen this past year for everybody, not only yourself, but everyone. You've just stepped up tremendously, and I really greatly appreciate everything that you've put yourself through and everything that's happened, especially in the last couple of years. I mean, it's just been compounded. So anyway, that's just me. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you commenting about the bistro bag. It was more my pleasure to do that, and wish I could have been along for the ride for the rest of the time. But anyway, just know, I mean, great friend of mine. I love you for what you do. And it's been what a great pulling through for this whole thing for everybody too. So thank you.
Thank you, Anne. I appreciate your words of kindness and your support this year. She's kind of been my sounding board, and when those days are tough, you know, she'll brush you off and push you back out there. Get back out there, girl. So thank you, Ann. I appreciate all your support and for everything that you do for me personally and for our club as a whole. And Diane?
You know, Billie, when Bev and I first met you at New Clairvaux and thought that you would be a good seroptimist, and we had no idea how great you would be. And it's just been a pleasure watching you grow in this organization. You yourself have not been in this organization all that long either. But you started out by diving right in with the Home and Garden Show, getting on track to be president. And of course, none of us could have predicted the situation of, you know, the pandemic. Nobody could have. I know it's been difficult to grow with gratitude. It's been difficult for all of us, but your positive spirit has kept us going. And as the others have said, we all appreciate what you have done. And I know Bev would be super proud of you as well today if she were here. And we both love you.
Thank you, Diane. And thank you so much for being there for me this year and those private lunches that we've had and for being such a wonderful sponsor. And I really appreciate that Diane and Ann were there for installation, even though it got canceled and rescheduled and canceled and rescheduled numerous times. You two were troopers and you hung in there and you made sure you attended that installation and shared your positive words. And yeah, I never thought I wouldn't have Bev with me this year for my presidency. So that was tough, not having Bev. And so Diane had to carry through for all of us. And you were just phenomenal to be there. You're a wonderful friend, a fantastic sponsor. And I know Bev would also been proud of you for being there for me and everything that you do for the club and for me to help me get through my presidency. Diane, thank you so much. And it was, like I said, it was a tough year not having Bev here to share in this year and be our little light that shines to help the club get through the difficult times. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you.
Did we have anybody else that wanted to share or had anything?
Yes, my hand is up. First of all, I just wanted to say I got a really great email yesterday. I'm sorry, I'm going to make this about myself a little bit. I got my Laurel Society yesterday. So I'm pretty excited to be a part of that particular club. So Doris, you're an inspiration to us. I'm so excited to follow in your footsteps. Hopefully 60 years is under my belt too someday. That's a long time. And thank you for sharing all the things that you've done for our club. And then really quick on a side note, I did put into the chat the registration for the SIA 100-year celebration. And you're not too late for the early bird. July 2nd is your deadline for early bird. Thank you.
Thank you for doing that. And I see Janet Earl's message in the chat. She says, thank you, Billie, for being so positive during this trying year. You've been an inspiration to us all. So thank you, Janet. I really appreciate that. And Janet, you have been very inspiring too. You've hung in there and you're always stepping up to take on more duties and ad hoc committees. So you two are an inspiration to all of us to step up and volunteer. And sometimes it's hard when the year's not going as we anticipated, but we rely on volunteers and it's important that we continue to step up and volunteer to fill those positions and those roles. So thank you. Do we have any other hands up? Anybody else that would like to share something? All right, I am not seeing any more. Oh, there's a hand, Roseanne.
Oh, sorry, that was a mistake. but actually, I'm clapping for you.
Oh, thank you, Roseanne.
That was what it was supposed to be.
Okay. All right. So, Maureen, is that a clap hand? Okay. I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. All right. Well, next Wednesday is our last meeting of the 2020-2021 club year. And that's going to be our final business meeting before we go dark for the summer. So I'm hoping that all of you will be able to attend so that we can finalize all the business for the year, and then we can enjoy our summer. So please join us next Wednesday. And I am going to go ahead then, and I'm going to go find my screen sharing and find the pledge so that we can all do the pledge. Okay, so everybody go ahead and unmute yourself so that we can all say the pledge together. It's one of the few things we get to do as a group. Okay, I'll give everybody just another couple seconds there to finish unmuting. Okay, here we go. I pledge allegiance to sincere optimism, to the ideals for which it stands. The sincerity of friendship, joy of achievement, the dignity of service, integrity of profession, the love of country. I will put forth my greatest effort to promote, uphold, and defend these ideals for larger fellowship in home, in society, in business, for country, and for God. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
All right.
Thank you, Billie. See
I
you
will
all
see
someday.
those of you who are at installation. I'm looking forward to those who attend installation so I can give you a hug and get to see you in person. And for the rest of you, I will see you next Wednesday for our last meeting. And thank you, Doris, for joining us. And thank you for your 60 years of service. We love you and we miss you. Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, President Billie. We love you.
Bye. Thank you.